Christina Shea.
Yes, thank you. Yes, over the years I have hired interns as well in my office to not only college students but high school students during the summer to encourage their understanding of local government. I do believe that my life started out as a volunteer. Many of us have spent our lives volunteering, and I think volunteerism is one of the top focuses for students to be looking at, whether it's to be at the senior center helping with Meals on Wheels, working at their schools. There's all kinds of opportunities. Going to an old, senior center home where that would be some place that you could get to know and help out in those centers. So I just think that there's a lot of opportunities, and I have been always very active in participating with our students and encourage that type of outreach for their knowledge of city government. Thank you.
I would love to see more high school students get involved in our local government. What I would like to do, if I do get into city council, is I'd like to tour the local high schools and junior high schools and promote some of our programs like the Irvine Police Explorers, the Meals on Wheels, and get them involved and let them learn about how our real government works, what's involved, and create future leaders for our city and our world. And to get them involved early is very important. So that is definitely going to be one of the things I'm going to promote when in City Hall.
Ms. Lynn Schott.
Well, this is something that I do every day in my business. I teach about American government, and I also teach about economics. And so the key here is to empower the kids. It's to teach them to be proactive, to how to write legislation, how to make proposals at their school sites so that they feel ownership in the decisions that are being made, instead of dictating to them or even seeking to continuously educate them. Give them some education, but then give them a project. Give them something to do so that they become passionate about what they're suggesting, and then they buy in and they have ownership of it. As a member of the Chamber of Commerce, I'm very involved in the Chamber of Commerce ethics forums, teaching business ethics in the workplace. This is something that we really need to continue, and I'd like to expand that program as much as possible and encourage it to all of our schools, whether they're public or private, because this is something that we need in our culture. Job shadowing is important, and really encouraging our job development through IUSD.
We're moving on to DK1.
Thank you. I've been involved in the senior centers for the last 6 years, and there are several programs that we can get our children involved in. There is a leadership in training program that we get our high school kids involved at the centers. Feel free to come by. If you have any questions, come see me. Also, we have interns at the senior centers. We have volunteers at the dining room and hospitality and other places in the senior centers that they can join us. They can also participate through the National Charity League. We have a lot of kids who come to the senior centers to help us in that too. And also, they can also perform for us at the Senior Chinese Evergreen Association. Thank you.
Next.
This is an area where I think there's significant need in our city, particularly as the economy has been hit hard and there are fewer jobs for teenagers. So one of the things I'd like to do as a city council member is to improve our collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce, for example, in helping students, young people find jobs, helping students visit some of the high-tech employers in our area to be inspired by the work they see going on there. We've got the Solar Decathlon coming to Irvine. This is a great area for collaboration with the schools, bringing the kids in, using the curriculum, what's going on there to boost the curriculum. And it's something we've done, I think, pretty successfully in Irvine Unified, combined doing business with education. In particular, we installed solar panels that we're implementing into the curriculum as well. Thank you.
Ms. Beth Krom.
Thank you. I am very proud of the programs that we do have, the Youth Action Team, Leadership and Training. There are a lot of things that we do as a community, but I share the perspective that Irvine really is a living laboratory. Young people have not only an opportunity to experience the world without ever leaving Irvine, but we have major corporations here that have internship programs. It would be great to partner with them more on that. We also have our teen summits and programs, and I have to say, every person on this dais who has been on the City Council, I know has been in our schools, I think it's important for young people to be able to see the people who are in leadership in the community. And we've seen a lot of those young people grow up and move on and go forward and do great things in their own way as leaders. So that's great.
We're moving on to the last question. I'd like to start from the City Council first, and then mayoral candidate, and start number 5 from the City Council. Okay? If elected, what is number 1 issue you would address in your first 100 days in office?
Well, I think it's important to work with everyone on the council to get a list of priorities in order. One of the things I would like to do, and I really do believe it's critical to our city and our future, is to look at the union contracts and try and renegotiate those. As a charter city, we do have the flexibility. I want to make it very important that these pension benefits are gradually increasing every year. And if they're not renegotiated, there could be some dire consequences for our city, and we need competent leadership, such as myself, who have experience working with other people to negotiate these contracts. And I think that would put us on a great direction and continue to have reserves and surpluses in the future.
Please, Lynn Schott.
Number 1 issue would be for me to really take a look at what the building project that's being proposed over at the Great Park. Right now, it is scheduled, or there's been a lot of talk about going ahead and approving the environmental impact report for that 10,700 homes only 1 week before the election this year. And so, if elected, that would be the first thing that I would want to look into to see what the effects of that would be on our community, and really make sure that the environmental impacts are acceptable to our community as far as our schools and our roads, our infrastructure. We do have a $91 million shortfall in our pension liability, and that would be number 2 we need to look at.
Mr. BK Wong.
Well, my focus will be on fiscal responsibility. I mean, the city is pretty well run, but I think there are many things we can do to tweak the budget, especially during these tough economic times. There are areas that we can focus on, like more on planning. As the city is growing, we have to ensure that we put our resources and ensure that infrastructure is able to grow together with the growth of the city. We have to look at jobs. I think that's key, because without jobs, no great city is great. We have to look at education to make sure that we have the right workforce to support this job growth.
Mr. Gavin Huntley-Fenner.
I think right away, within the first 100 days, we're going to have to look at the planning around the Great Park and its potential impact on schools, on traffic, and on the local business community. There's a lot of work to be done there. I think the current city council is in the middle of negotiations, as you all know, and that's going to come to a head right away. We're also going to need a plan, once we come up with a proposal that we all agree with, come up with a plan to engage the community. This is about transparency, letting the public know what we're all about. And finally, if Measure BB passes, and I fully expect that it will pass, we're going to need to sit down closely with the school district and hammer out the details about how this is going to be implemented. You're going to need people in the city council who understand finances at schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, questions like this are a challenge for me because I'm an integrated thinker. And I don't think that you ever succeed based on one priority. You have to understand the interests that are important across the entire community. The fact that over 40 years, and we're celebrating our 40th anniversary this year, we have grown from a community of 17,000 to a community of 220,000, maintaining and preserving quality of life, suggests that that has been the model that has been most successful for the community. So all of the issues that people have raised are important issues to me as well. But what I want to make sure is that we stay on a steady path, that we don't take precipitous actions that play well to an audience without serving our community well in the long run. So I look forward to working with the new council to move the community forward.
Ms. Christina Shea.
Thank you very much. I think that the first thing I would want to do is after an election, there's a lot of healing that takes place and there needs to be integration with the council members. So in January, I'd like to do what we've done in the past is to have an off-site meeting and start talking about council priorities. But to me, the two priorities, again, are the Great Park. We need to get that fiscal model back on track. We need to look at this development and how it could affect our streets. And also, we need to stop the spending and start to find ways to increase revenues through creating more vibrant business. And that's what I would do if I was elected. Boy, I said that fast because I got 15 seconds left. But anyway, I just want to thank all of you for allowing us to be here today if I have that opportunity. Thank you so much.
Dr. Stephen Choi.
When I get elected within 100 days, what I would like to do, there are many things about among which I will call for town hall meetings, a meeting with the Chamber of Commerce leaders, or the business leaders, school district leaders, and the community members to sort out what their concerns are, to prioritize city government's concerns instead of because when we talk about the open government, I think this is very, very important for us to relate with the community. That's what I would like to do as one of my priorities. I am the candidate endorsed by Orange County Register newspaper after all the
Next,
interviews,
Mr.
so I would
Larry
appreciate your
Agran.
vote.
Thank you. Is this working?
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to participate in this forum. If I'm fortunate to be elected mayor, my top priority will be to sit down with other council members and the city manager and prepare a fiscal year 2013-2014 budget that is a steady state budget that keeps us moving forward, that incorporates all of our priorities, all of our interests in a way that hopefully will gain unanimous council support. Our budget indeed reflects the direction of the city. I want us to keep on a steady direction, safest, smartest, greenest city in America. Thank you.
If I'm elected, the first thing I'd like to do is review all of the departments in the city. In order to have a sound fiscal budget, you need to know what all the departments are doing. And as a new leader and as a new face in City Hall, that would be the #1 priority, so I know where your money's going and where it's being spent. And if there is a requirement for the council to get together along with citizens, that would also be something I would like to see. Also, the Great Park, I am in favor of development in the Great Park as a steady revenue stream. That is one way we keep taxes down and money in the city. Thank you so much.
This concluded this forum. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the candidates for agreeing, attending this forum, the audience for submitting great questions, and for SCCCA for hosting this event. Last, not the least, I'd like to thank Beatrice Zhen for organizing this event. This forum is taped, and I'd like to thank Rob for taping this entire forum. The video will be available in our website. Thank you. Have a good day.